Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Tales of Arise with the Laser Material Games. On the last episode, we completed Kisara's training arc at the training grounds in Eldimencia. We fought against Lagil, her friend. Then we had a few conversations with everyone, and then headed into our spaceship to go up to Lenegis, where we now are. We are on Lenegis. We are on Lenegis. Yeah, basically, we did as many side quests as we could, and now we're here. So, it's time to do plot. We need to try and find the Forbidden Zone, which is apparently a real thing on this ship. And that's where we're hoping to find some more information at the very least on where the Davos Alma might be. And also potentially on Sheila's Thorns to see if we can help her. So, I guess it's time we go. Let's go. Let's see what we find. This is gonna be interesting. Finally seeing what Lenegis is like. We've seen it in the sky for so long. Oh! I don't know what I expected, actually. Something happened here. I love this music.
What in the world?
This being Renin territory, I was prepared for a lot of things to look different. But this is a bit more than I anticipated.
The very foundations of the city have shifted. What could have caused this?
When Lenegis changed shape, it must have had an effect on the interior too.
Maybe when they sent the wedge down to Dana?
But they wouldn't move around the places where people live. These are their homes, right?
I would think the citizens themselves didn't have much say in the matter. Either way, locating the Forbidden Zone just became that much trickier.
Dohalim? Is that you?
Avakir, I'm glad to see you're well.
So it is you! But why are you here? Shouldn't you be down on Dana participating in the crown contest? And these people!
So you haven't heard what happened on Dana, then?
Heard what?
Someone you know?
An old friend.
Hey, Dohalim, don't tell me you've started keeping company with...
They're with me. More importantly, what's happened here?
I'm really not sure. The city's foundations began to shift without warning, and now everything looks like this. We're all waiting for the Sovereign to tell us what's happening, but so far...
Avakir, listen to me. We're looking for the Forbidden Zone. Do you have any idea where we might find it?
The Forbidden Zone? What business could you possibly have there?
Trust me. The less you know, the better.
You're just the same as ever. I wish I could help, but what with the changed topography, I can barely locate my own home. Let alone the Forbidden Zone.
Very well. It looks like we'll have to find the way there ourselves.
Have you seen Faria yet?
No.
I see. Well, nothing much has changed with her. If anything, she's probably even more...
I can well imagine.
Why did you come back? You know it can only result in pain for you both.
I've no doubt of that.
You really are the same as ever. Fine, I understand. Just don't say I didn't warn you. And take care of yourself, okay, Do?
So who's Faria?
Law?
If what Avakir said is true, it would seem the people of Lenegis are being kept in the dark about what's happening down on Dana.
They seem to be just as clueless about what's going on up here in their own world. Despite the fact that it's actually here that the wedge originally came from.
We need more information. Let's talk to the citizens, see what we can find out.
While we're at it, we can ask them about the Red Woman, too.
And don't forget about finding the way to the Forbidden Zone either.
Let's leave the talking to Shion. We can't have a bunch of Danins poking their noses around.
Good idea. I think that's for the best.
I shall assist.
You sure?
Being a lord on Lenegis has its advantages.
Right. Then we'll leave it to you two.
That was interesting.
The Danins among us should probably keep our heads down.
What if people freak out?
I shall explain it away by saying I'm leading you.
What are we, dogs?
Well, you don't have much choice, unfortunately. I love this place. Like, it looks really cool, like, almost like eco-cyber, if that makes sense. I also really love the music, with it being, like, it's not a full string quartet. Well, it could be a string quartet, maybe with, like, maybe 2 double basses and 2 cellos, maybe. It's very nice, though. I love the cello melody. Gorgeous. I think it's cello anyway. I'm pretty sure it's not a viola. It's very pretty. Yeah, Avakir seemed quite nice. I'm so curious about Dohalim's stuff. I guess we're getting more of his story now, which I'm very glad about, because I was hoping to learn more about him. And we also have a skit here. A city torn asunder.
What could be so important? It's worth destroying people's livelihoods and homes in the process. It's just unbelievable. Uprooting an entire city as if it were mere building blocks. Someone's got an awful lot of questions to answer.
From how it looks, they must be siphoning off astral energy from Dana, and then sending it to Rena.
But why do all this? What for? Surely they can't be using all that energy for the crown contest.
Whatever their purpose, disrupting their siphoning process alone won't be sufficient. Not while we still don't know what their endgame is.
He's right. We need to stop this from happening ever again.
This Forbidden Zone might be where we find some answers, right? So what are we waiting for? Let's get moving!
You heard him. We don't have time to stop and chat. Let's move.
We don't have time to stop and chat. Also, here's another skit. Yeah, I am curious about why they're siphoning energy. I mean, I don't know. We don't know that much about the Red and homeland, so I'm so curious about it. We have another skit here. An afterthought.
So, I've been wondering, do you think when Lenegis was built, it was even made with people living here in mind?
What do you mean?
Well, none of this happened by coincidence, right? They must have designed it to transform like this. But then, if they knew people were going to live here, you'd think they would have taken that into consideration, to avoid all this chaos.
Ordinarily, yes. You'd think so. Trust me, as far as we were concerned, Lenegis was our home, nothing more. No one knew about all this. It makes you wonder whether the city was just built on as an afterthought. But if so, to what exactly?
Sorry. That probably sounded weird, huh?
Not at all. Sometimes it takes an outsider's eye to help you notice what you've been missing all along. This place is a mystery, that's for sure. Something tells me we'll find answers where we're going, though.
Yeah, you're right, Shion. I'm sure we will.
Well, it'd be good if we can. There has to be something wrong with the Red and homeland, right? Surely. Like, what other reason would they have for bringing people up to live on Lenegis? Well, hello there. How are you doing? Is Lenegis done for? The residential quarter is falling apart. Yeah, it's definitely falling apart, that's for sure. God, this music's so freaking good. Okay, where am I going? So there's people over here. Hi. Where's that dang sovereign when you need him? Can't he see the world's in trouble? Let's not jump to conclusions now. I'm sure there's a reason he hasn't appeared yet. Let's simply give it time. That's Yeah, there must be a current sovereign, right? But we don't know who they are. I'm so curious about that. Hello there. You really like that bench, huh? Okay, hi there.
Where am I? I just went out for a walk, but now I don't know where I am. I don't know. Everything's falling apart and it looks completely different. I can't get a hold of Mother and Father either.
You have nothing to fear, kids. I'm sure there's a reason for everything that's going on.
But even the Zoogles are out running loose. That seems dangerous.
Zoogles are nothing more than our servants. They may have gotten out, but I assure you I'll have them under control before long. If you kids consider yourselves to be proud Renans, then be brave. We'll have the situation fixed before you know it. So even they don't know what's going on. So curious. Oh, I don't want to lose orange gels. I'll leave that one there, I guess. Hi there. Lots of people about. Oh, hello. Can I heal you?
In all my years, never have I seen such potent healing arts. Thank you so much for taking the time to help an old woman like me.
Oh, fancy parfait recipe. Ooh.
Everything will be okay now.
I know the basics of healing arts, but my skills pale in comparison.
Yeah, that is actually kind of curious. I wonder if it's because of her maiden powers. So is it worth using a little orange gel now? It would heal me all the way back up. I'm not going to use an orange gel right now. I'll go back and get that later if I need it. Okay, so it looks like there's a few people we could talk to. So that looks like it's the way we're probably supposed to go. I guess we'll go over the other way first. Because there should be people over here too. Oh, cool. Hi. With everything all topsy-turvy in the residential quarter, there are lots of injuries. Stuff keeps dropping on people, and they're also falling down. Yeah. It's a difficult situation, sure. Hi there. Shall I wait a moment and go over this way before I talk to that guy? Hi there. Can anyone hear me? Please, someone answer me. What's going on? Why can't I reach anyone? Oh, the communications must have been affected. Oof. Hello there. Strawberries? Oh, good. They'll be good for my fancy parfait. Oh, wow. I could probably fall down there. I'm not going to. I have stuff I need to do up here. Okay. Hello there. Let me talk to you.
Oh, dear me. What an unspeakable mess this has all become. Just look at the state of our city. Even the Zoogles have stopped heeding our commands. Whatever did we do to deserve this?
You really have no clue what might have caused this?
Would that I have. Alas, there was no warning, no prior decree. His Highness must have deemed it unnecessary for us to know. We have no choice but to grin and bear it. But do my eyes deceive me? Could I really be standing in the presence of his lordship, Dohalim of the House Ilkaris? I believed he was on Dana.
Your eyes do not deceive you. It is I, one and the same. I have returned to fulfill a special duty, the details of which I cannot divulge.
As your lordship wishes. First Lenegis mutates beyond recognition, now this unexpected visit. The Sovereign's plans are inscrutable indeed. The Ilkaris house has produced a great many lords over the centuries. I shall be praying for your victory in the latest crown contest.
Your good wishes do me an honor.
So people here really have no idea what's going on. The Sovereign knows best. His will works in mysterious ways. It sure does. I'm curious about the Sovereign, actually. We've not really heard very much about him. It'll be interesting to learn more as we continue on. Right, hello there. Are you okay?
Your lordship. Oh, what a great honor it is to finally meet you. I descended to Dana during the last crown contest also. Alas, when the contender I was backing failed to clinch the title, I returned. I witnessed the deaths of so many slaves.
Indeed.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're looking for a woman dressed all in red. Have you seen anyone of that description?
All red, eh? No, I can't say I remember anyone like that. I imagine she'd stand out somewhat, too.
Yeah. What about down on Dana during the crown contest? You didn't see anyone like that hanging around the lord you were serving?
What's with all these questions? I've never seen her, okay? Not recently or otherwise. Why do you want to find her anyway?
Never mind. Forget I asked. Sorry to take up your time.
Hey, we're just asking a couple questions, okay? It's not like it's the end of the world. I wonder if they'll put the current crown contest on hold. About the crown contest. Oh dear god. Okay. Hello. Oh, you look hurt. The Zoogles suddenly stopped listening to our commands. As soon as we turned our backs, they bolted for the horizon. Nothing like this has ever happened before. We have to put the crown contest on hold. We can't carry it on while things are like this. I mean, I guess it's taking a few of the lords away, and some of the soldiers, I guess. Yeah, no, that's a point. Okay, hi there. You okay?
Is everything okay? You look a little lost.
Oh, yes. I can't seem to find my way home, is all. I was just about to make my umpteenth attempt at a new route.
I was hoping to head this way myself. The situation is a real pain, huh?
I suppose the Sovereign knows best. I daren't stay here too long, though. A lower caste can only linger around these parts for so long before I outstay my welcome. I was hoping to avoid it, but maybe I'll have to go that way after all.
You mean you know another way round?
Lord Dohalim Ilkaris! But how? Last I heard, you were in Dana competing in the crown contest.
Yes, strange, isn't it? If you know another route, we'd be grateful if you could tell us.
But of course. Please forgive me. There's a wall that sprung up ahead of here, with what looks to be an entrance in it. I thought maybe it was a passageway between the different quarters, but I've no way of knowing for sure.
It's worth investigating, at least. I shall go and assess the situation. In the meantime, wait for me here. If it looks safe, I'll come and let you know.
You'd really do that for me? A lord troubling himself for someone of my lowly status?
Our lot in life is of little consequence. We are both Renan, first and foremost.
Oh, why yes, my lord. Thank you.
Well, we've canvassed the city for information. What do you think?
No one has the faintest idea what's happened to the city after all. They haven't heard the news about the crown contest either.
You'd think that info would easily find its way up here. Has it always been like that?
Not to this extent, which would indicate that something's suppressing the truth, that Lenegis is under some kind of control.
Given everything that's happened to their city, the people here seem weirdly okay with it all.
Yeah, that one guy even said his Zoogle had stopped listening to him. If that's true, these people are in big trouble.
Everything that happens here is attributed to the Sovereign's will. It's the way people have been conditioned. Their belief runs deep. Nothing happens devoid of a reason. To them, it's all part of the Sovereign's grand plan.
The Sovereign's plan. There is one thing I'm still not sure about. Just who is this person ruling over Lenegis?
The Sovereign, of course. He rules from Rena while presiding over both Rena and Lenegis.
Without the lords or anyone in the middle doing his dirty work? Isn't Rena at least the same size as Dana? That's a pretty big dominion for one person to rule over. I would have thought ruling Lenegis alone would be difficult enough.
The points you make are valid, though I confess I'd never given it much thought before. Here, the Sovereign's total authority is as natural as night turning to day. Come to think of it, I know nothing of the nature of how Rena itself is. Shion, have you ever been... No, forgive me. Have you met or crossed paths with, or even heard of someone who's actually made a visit to the homeland?
No, I haven't.
Neither have I. In which case, I would imagine that... But no, surely not. Can it really be that no citizen of Lenegis has ever been there?
Hold up, what are you getting at, Dohalim?
Assuming what I believe to be correct, it's possible that no one on Lenegis has ever laid eyes on the actual Renan homeworld itself. No one but the Sovereign, that is.
But what about trade and communication? There's got to be a flow back and forth, surely.
Not if the Sovereign is imposing his will on Lenegis single-handedly. It could be a one-way street.
But I thought you said that the Sovereign's all the way over on Rena. If that's the case, can he really rule directly over Lenegis from so far away? What if something were to happen to the city, like now?
I'm beginning to wonder what the nature of this Sovereign even is. Alphen said he was forced into the role, right? Just before the ceremony. But Sovereign is also the title given to the almighty Renan ruler. So which one is it?
Whoever wins the crown contest inherits the throne from his or her predecessor, before becoming ruler over all of Rena and Lenegis. Thereafter, that individual is known as the Sovereign. Though, it would appear that the current ruler has gone silent. As for how Volron factors into all this, at this point, I no longer know what to believe.
3 centuries ago, I became the Sovereign here on Lenegis. No, not just became, I was forced to. Me, a Danon. 300 years later, we cross paths with Volron, who also bears the Sovereign's crest. That's not the only thing we have in common. We both became Sovereign without winning the crown contest.
Do you think Volron was made Sovereign for the same reason? Because of that ceremony?
I can't say for sure, but it certainly sounds like it.
But that would mean that 2 Sovereigns would need to exist at any one time. One whose job it is to rule, and the other for ceremonial purposes. We never did see Volron's body back in Ganath Haros. Is a new ceremony underway with Volron at its center this time? Could that be what's causing all this strange activity here?
Wait a second. You don't think Volron and the Red Woman are working together, do you? The ceremony can't go forward without the Renis Alma. The same one that the Red Woman stole.
There's something else the ceremony needs. A maiden. And unless there's another one out there aside from me...
Questions, questions, and yet more questions. Ones that it seems will remain unanswered, until we can establish the Sovereign's identity.
If the Forbidden Zone really is off-limits to everyone but the Sovereign, that seems as good a place as any to start. For the sake of liberating Dana, too.
Then it's decided. That's where we need to go.
One of the citizens mentioned a passage that she thought might lead to another section of the city. It could point us in the right direction. Let's go find it!
There really are so many questions. I'm so curious. Hello there. I feel truly blessed to have a lord who shows such care and concern for his people. That's great. I'm so, interested in the Sovereign. I mentioned it a bit when we were learning about Alphen's past, but, it doesn't make sense why they would have, the ceremonial Sovereign that doesn't even need to be a Renin specifically. But also, this placeholder one who seems to be, an idol for people to worship more than anything. They just assume things are the Sovereign's will, but there's no way of telling if they actually are. It's so curious. Anyway, we have a skit here. Lenegis' citizenry.
I didn't realize Renans oppressed their own kind, too.
And yet, weirdly, none of them seem to mind. Am I the only one who finds that strange?
It is the way things have always been, so no one thinks to question it. You have experience in that regard yourself, do you not?
Unquestioning acceptance of your own servitude. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Even so, the quality of life here seems much higher than any Danon city we visited. I used to think it was impossible to build an ideal society without wealth. But I suppose having it doesn't always mean people are treated fairly either.
More to the point, not a single citizen seems to have even heard of the Red Woman.
What if she's not here? What if it turns out we're looking in the wrong place entirely?
It's still too early to say anything for sure.
For all we know, she might be able to blend in, move around unnoticed. I say we hold off judgment until we've exhausted every avenue.
I say that's a smart way of thinking, Dohalim. Again, considering that Dohalim and Shion couldn't remember seeing her at all, aside from in Pelagian. Like, I don't know, maybe it does have something to do with being Renan. Who knows? We have yet another skit here, The Art of Conversation.
Tell me, Dohalim, has that skill of yours got a name?
And what skill would this be, pray tell?
You know, when you're talking to people around town. The way they suddenly become putty in your hands.
I'm afraid I don't quite follow.
I do. It's called friendly intimidation. Look imposing and speak in a deep, booming voice, and presto, you'll have people wrapped around your finger in no time.
I would never stoop to such scandalous tricks. Any feelings of intimidation are solely in the eye of the beholder.
So there is a knack to it! How do you learn it? Can anyone do it?
Now you've got me curious. Is there special training to master?
Let's see. An obsession with being elegant is a must. Oh, and it helps to be old-fashioned, too. Bonus points if you speak in a way no one can understand.
If you've a bone to pick with me, it'd be quicker to just come out and say it.
What? They look up to you, that's all. I'm just helping them along.
Hey! What's got into Alvin and Law all of a sudden?
I can barely understand a word they're saying. And what's with the weird poses? Was it something they ate?
I hope you're willing to take the blame for this one.
I wasn't expecting them to take me so seriously. I'll go and have a word with them.
I love this party. We did see that skit in the demo, I think. I didn't expect it to be one from Lenegis. Alright, I completely forget which ones we've actually seen until we see them again. Alright, so it looks like we have to go this way.
With nobody left to run the show, I wonder what the people here are supposed to do. I mean, there's sovereigns up on the Renan homeworld, and all their lords were sent to Dana.
But Dohalim was a lord, right?
Only current acting lords have power. Renan society is quite strict about such matters.
Even if the other lords were still around, I doubt they'd be able to do much about the situation.
I wonder what they'd think if they were here to see Lenegis now. Balsif, Ganabelt, Almadria, and Volron. Now that I think of it, aside from Dohalim, we know next to nothing about the other lords.
Well, yeah, why would we? To us Danans, they were just enemies we needed to overthrow. Nothing more.
I know. But seeing Renans in their own city, going about their day-to-day lives, it gets you thinking.
It feels strange to imagine the lords living here too, you mean?
Yeah, a little.
If you're that curious about them, why not try inquiring with some of the locals? Every lord in their household has their share of supporters here on Lenegis. And luckily for us, the people here are unaware of the events on Dana, which means they should be more inclined to talk to us.
Oh cool, side quest! Renans and their lords. Well, okay, talk to people who support the lords. Well, we might as well, because why not? Hello there. Do you support the lords? You want to know which lord I support? Why? Are you out canvassing for someone? I'm with His Excellency Erwolzi Teldilis. You probably know him better as Lord Balsif. I know a lot of people consider him to be a giant brute. Believe me, I realize he can be an aggressive man. What those people don't realize is how much he looks after the members of his house. It's fair to say that House Teldilis doesn't enjoy much esteem. Those of us who serve it will be the first to admit that.
Yes!
But His Excellency always stands up against any who would mean us harm. Of that we can be sure. His efforts in the crown contest aren't only for his family, but to improve the standing of each and every member of his house.
Yes!
I owe so much to His Excellency. I could never dream of serving any other lord.
Balsef had it in him to care about someone other than himself? Really?
It's possible. A change in position can do much to alter one's perspective.
So even he might have had something he wanted to protect.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Are we curious to learn more? Is this just... Yeah, this is just what you said before. Right, okay. Cool. Well, fair enough. It's interesting actually learning more about them now. I know that they have already passed, so it's not really... Like, in other cases, I would feel like this is... like, trying to make us care about them when there's not really a point to it anymore. But the point here is that we weren't supposed to care about them when they died. But now that we're learning more about them, it's making us think twice, kind of thing, I think. It's really interesting. Also, I'm assuming that Dohalim is standing behind, like, a little ways away during these conversations so that they don't all go, oh no, Dohalim's right there. Alright, hello there. Lord Dohalim, you've returned! Ah, and I see you brought aides with you. Do you remember who I am, my lord? Surely you must, yes. Not only do I support House Ilkaras, but more specifically, his lordship personally. So much so I've been trying to share my appreciation of his lordship to any who will listen. In fact, I was planning to publish my extensive writings on the subject through this very terminal for all to read and enjoy. But since the lines appear to have been cut due to the recent tumult, I've been unable to upload them. I know, since you're all here, I'll just read them aloud. There exists a most handsome man, a man who radiates beauty, whose every word, every syllable is divine poetry. He hails from the famed House Ilkaras, and his name, Lord Dohalim. Music is his passion, his art his great love. The scores of boorish, uncouth men of this land cannot begin to compare to his magnificence. So refined and majestic is his posture, why the mere thought of it brings me to ecstasy. Once he becomes our sovereign, Rena shall bloom anew, ushering in an era of prosperity for our grand civilization. Until that glorious day, I shall forever be praying for his victory, morning, noon, and night. Well, what did you think, my lord? I poured my whole heart into it, hoping to capture your essence. Wait! I forgot to mention anything about his lordship's love for collecting things. I must take this time while the lines are down to append it. Only then will my masterpiece be complete.
I guess she intended to spread it throughout all of Lenegis then.
Good thing the lines were down so she couldn't.
It almost sounded like she was praising them too.
Maybe there was more to the guy than at first glance.
I shall refrain from commenting.
Fair enough, I guess. Lord Dohalim, you've returned. I don't need to read that entire thing. So long. My lord, how can you be so aloof? And yet, there's something wonderful about that too. Alright, that's funny. She was mostly praising his looks. I mean, fair enough, I guess. That's what you are looking for, I guess. So I'm assuming this was probably going to be about Almadria. I don't think we're going to find anyone talking about Volaron, but I might be wrong. I've been wrong before. Well, I never. To think anyone would try to tear me away from House Valkyris.
What?
What do you want? Don't tell me you work for Lord Dohalim, or that dreadful Lord Almadria, do you? You don't? Well, don't scare me like that. To answer your question, I come from a family that has served House Valkyris for generations. Indeed, I'm doing all I can to support Lord Ganabelt behind the scenes so that he might emerge victorious. Many think him to be a cruel man, but I insist they're utterly mistaken. Though I won't deny he can be strict, he puts Rena's interests front and center like no one else. Why, he advocates that rather than stay confined to Lenegis, we should get on with colonizing Dana and explore our horizons. That way we will become masters of both worlds, and overturn our current minority status on Dana's surface. That is why he seeks to become our next sovereign. Tell me, is there a greater, more noble ambition than that? I think not. It is a pursuit of power for the advancement of all our kind. It is what makes him an exemplary lord, a model above all others. Though I was unable to accompany him myself, my two sons have been blessed with the honor of joining him on the surface. As their father, it fills me with endless pride. So about your sons.
Ganabelt was so horrible to people. Yet he was invested in helping Rena succeed. Doesn't that seem just a little inconsistent?
I'm perhaps biased in this matter, I admit. However, in my mind, while all lords vie to become the next sovereign, they're also meant to serve as guardians of all of Rena.
It seems like Ganabelt also had people he cared about until the very end.
So why couldn't he extend that to us Danans?
Well, they've all been raised with this racism towards Danans within their minds, thinking that's normal. I mean, just like everything else that they seem to just accept here. It's kind of no surprise, really, that Ganabelt was a terrible person towards Danans, but for Renans, of course he's gonna care about them. It makes sense. It's not right, but, you know, it's just the way that he is. Yeah, no, I forgot that Ganabelt existed. Oops. Well, I never. I'm not reading that again. Sorry to bother you. I'd best return before I get wrapped up in any other unsavory business with service of other lords. Whoops. Talking to you as Dohalim. So, hold on, was that all? That's all the conversations here, so there might be some more through that way. I guess. Because I doubt that there's any back there. Yeah, no. No one needs to go through to the flight chamber, so why would they? Flight chamber? Is that what they would call it? Probably not. Alright. Well, we'll head over to the next area. Hopefully it'll be safe through there. What is through here, though? Okay. The mini-map made it look like we should be able to get through there, but we could not. Alright. Through this way, then. I expected them to start talking. They did not. This place is pretty. Very pretty. Okay, so there's more people.
This area doesn't look as badly damaged as that other district we went through.
Indeed. The effects of Lenegis' transformation appear to be less pronounced here. Or, viewed another way, this area was simply luckier.
Yeah, true. I guess the areas on the edges might be more affected. Hi there! How you doing?
Pardon me.
This area falls under the sole jurisdiction of House Kyneris. I must ask you to depart at once. Surely you don't claim to be ignorant of our famed house, ruled over by the esteemed Lord Almadria? If so, I urge you to listen well. In fact, I bid you listen carefully regardless. Have you ever noticed how in the history of Lenegis, only a few women lords have emerged to compete in the crown contest? Many have theories as to why this might be, but Lord Almadria quashed the doubts of any naysayers through sheer might. In fact, not only did she usurp her father and previous family master, she also removed her older brother to claim the seat for herself. She is a woman who stops at nothing to get what she wants, who gives her enemies nary the slightest opening to strike. Truly, Lord Almadria is a woman of talent. No one in all of Rena better exemplifies the virtues of our nation's meritocracy. Soon the age of a glorious woman sovereign reigning over all of Lenegis shall be upon us at last.
I guess her willingness to stoop to any low came from a survival of the fittest worldview.
And some people here not only shared her belief, but championed it as morally right, too.
That doesn't make it true. Too bad they couldn't see through her.
Yeah.
We'll be on our way. I must guard over this area until Lord Almadria returns from her duties on the surface. Well, you'll be there a while. God. Yeah, Almadria wasn't a great person, but you can understand why she would have turned out that way. Like, the bitterness of being treated badly by other people can make you a better person. Hello. What's happening? I don't get it. There wasn't a decree or anything to announce this like there always is. You're right. Even if this was an accident, it's strange that we haven't heard anything from the Sovereign yet. Do my ears deceive me, or are you saying that you don't trust what the Sovereign is doing? I'll have you know that I was part of the delegation that came down with him to Dana during the previous crown contest. He was a brilliant man and just as good with astral arts as well. I'm sure he's well aware of the situation and thus has a plan to resolve it. Until then, we must simply wait and trust in his judgment. Fair enough, I guess. It doesn't seem to be doing anything right now, though. Sheepy! Oh, good, the Zoogles are cut off. They have nowhere to run now. Okay, good to know. Oh, it's amazing to see how those of us with only weak arts can still do this when we all come together. Keep it up, team. We'll have those pests taken care of in no time. These have been voiced in the past. I'm not sure why they aren't right now, but okay. Hello there. How are you doing? I guess you like Volron?
Ridiculous.
How lonesome. Oh, I was just reading about Volron. Can I help you?
Okay.
I was always an ardent supporter of Lord Urwagel Hildress myself. Were it not for his sudden death down on the surface, I likely still would be. In my eyes, Lord Urwagel is the true Water Lord. I don't believe for a second that he perished in some accident like they say. As for how Volron runs Ganath Haros, don't get me started. I hear he enslaves not only Danans, but even his fellow Renans. We may live in a society where to the victor go the spoils, but his actions go against what we as a people stand for. Besides, just what sort of family line is this House Igniseri of his anyway? I've never heard of it until he came along, which means they must be among the lowest dregs of society. That such an ignoble lineage could suddenly produce an astral artist capable of ascending to lordship is unheard of. None of it makes any sense, not to mention all the upheaval around here of late. What is happening to our people?
It seems like the people on Lenegis don't really know much about Volron either.
I remember being quite surprised when the Lord of Ganath Haros changed so abruptly.
Didn't you have any doubts that something suspicious was going on?
On the contrary. Remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
When you think about it, the families of Renan lords must see them differently than the rest of us.
Yeah, despite the brutality they're known for.
They must have had a lot on their shoulders, carrying all the weight and responsibilities of Renan society.
Renans live in a world where strength and power determine their position in the social hierarchy, so they tend to grow up fiercely competitive. But their loyalty to their people is also strong. It's what brings them together against outside forces, and nothing exemplifies that more than the Lords.
That's what makes them the guardians of all of Rena, so to speak.
Right. It's the same reason Balsif hated my guts, and Ganabelt went after you. Because we're threats to Rena.
Guess that makes you an even bigger oddball than we thought.
So, Alphen, have you gained anything from all of this?
Yeah. I think it's made me realize that the Lords were all people, too. Balsif and the others, they all had their own circumstances to deal with as they went through life.
Yeah, but still, just because they had loved ones in their lives doesn't mean...
I know. What they did was horrible. I'm not trying to dispute that. But at the same time, they weren't incomprehensible monsters either. They were individuals, just like the rest of us. So I guess what I'm trying to say is...
You're saying that they weren't bad because they were Renans, or because they were terrible monsters. Even if they did terrible things, they were still just people.
Rinwell.
Am I wrong?
Not at all.
Being a Danan doesn't make you a good person. And being a Renan doesn't make you a bad one. I think that's something we've all seen.
Shion and Dohalim definitely make a good case for it.
And I'm going to keep doing my best to make sure I earn that trust. As a fellow human being above all else.
Alright, we did it. Nice. That was a really interesting side quest. I liked that scene as well, that skit. Yeah. It's so much more complicated. Like, humans just have a tendency to categorize things to make them simpler, but by simplifying that much you lose a lot of the nuance, which really lends meaning to a lot of things, which can be so... what's the word? Not unproductive necessarily, but reductive. You know, by simplifying things down, you reduce the amount of meaning and the amount of nuance to a point where you could just say a whole category of people are terrible, when really they're all individuals with so much complex stuff going on that we can never really understand the whole nuance of, because everyone's lived different experiences. It's just so fascinating to me, honestly. Anyway, hello there. As a member of the upper caste, I ordered you to find a route out of here to the neighboring district. Please, no, you can't expect an old man such as me to do that, not when there are Zoogles running loose in that part of town. That's exactly why I need you to do this. Surely you don't intend to defy me now, do you? Rude. Yeah, no, the social hierarchy here is not great either, is it? Hi. Sorry, authorized personnel only. The damage beyond here is too severe. You'll have to go around. Okay, thank you. It's weird to have them be nice to us. Hello. Where is my house? I don't know how to get home. Oh. I wonder if we can go back to that lady and tell her that it's safe around here. Well, do we know that it's safe around here? Oh, hi. You saved my life. I would have been a goner had you not arrived when you did, my lady. I understand we're in a crown contest, but I had no idea such a capable astral artist was in our midst. Forgive me for not realizing it sooner. Come now, you don't need to bow so deeply. All I did was strike that Zoogle's weak point. I didn't even get to go down to Dana for the crown contest, so I'm not sure how I feel about all this praise you're heaping on me. I see. They really do seem to admire this social hierarchy that they've built. I guess because, again, it's the only thing that they've lived certain of for their entire lives. Okay, so that's just a little area, so we'll just quickly go over here. Hello, chest? Grape gel! Ooh! Hi there.
Father, what's going on? I'm scared.
I'm not sure, son. Never in all my years on Lenegis has anything like this ever happened, not once. There's always been a decree before anything takes place. Not only was there none in this time, but the residential quarter has seen damage and injuries. Could this mean something bad's happening then?
Could this be something bad's happening then?
That's possible. For now, all we can do is wait and hope for the best. Yeah, no one has any idea what's going on. I wonder why they keep it all...
There's something I just don't get.
What is it?
The crown contest itself has always gone ahead as planned, right? In which case, the current sovereign of Rena should be whoever it was that won the previous contest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, who was it then?
Hanfried Milgras, the former lord of Cislodia, if memory serves.
So then this Hanfried whatchamacallem, he's the current ruler of Rena?
The last I heard, yes. Though, admittedly, I haven't actually seen him since the end of the previous contest.
You're saying that ever since becoming sovereign, he's never actually shown himself on Lenegis?
I guess over holocom maybe, but not in the flesh. Same thing goes for the sovereign that came before him.
Now that you mention it, I don't recall anyone ever visiting Lenegis from the motherland, sovereign or otherwise.
And that never struck you as a little bit odd?
When you live here, it's as if you're conditioned not to notice all these strange quirks and discrepancies. The question is then, by whom? And to what end?
A new Renis Alma is supposedly created to coincide with every crown contest, meaning each victor is awarded their very own. In other words, if that's true, there should be as many of the things out there as there have been contests.
True, but going on what we witnessed in Pelagian, it didn't look like the sort of thing that could be made to order. But if even the victor's speeches have been part of some grand deception, then where are they? Quite frankly, I'm not even sure what to believe anymore.
You and me both. Though we are Renin by blood, neither of us even knew that such a thing as a Dark Master Core existed, remember?
With any luck, the Forbidden Zone might give us some answers.
No use standing around here chatting about it then. Let's get a move on.
Again, they keep giving us more and more questions. So curious. Okay, so... I take it that we can't go anywhere over this way. I mean, we can, but like, no. Away. Hello. How could any of this happen? For years, Lenegis was a bastion of order and stability. Where did it all go so wrong? Stability. Stability. I lost the ability to English. Alright. I think we've talked to everyone, so that's good. I'm just doing a quick... Oh. Thought.
Doe?
Faria.
Varia? Isn't that the person that Avakir guy was...
But why are you here? Wait. Don't tell me you've given up on the crown contest and come crawling back home from Dana already. Nothing to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnigan to secure your position as Lord, you still... kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation, I only ask that you wait until I'm finished.
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out. Even after 7 years and living on that Danon rock, you haven't changed one bit. But let me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a day's gone by the past 7 years that I haven't hated you.
If killing me will bring you peace, then so be it.
Dohalim, what the hell are you saying?
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant you it. But you must wait. My sins are legion. Let me finish what I came to do. Then you have my word. I will let you do whatever brings you peace.
Sure, that's it. Run away like always. You don't even have the courage to die. No wonder you leave it to someone else. You're just a coward!
Dohalim.
I apologize that you had to witness that.
Is it true? What she said about you killing someone?
Each of us have our pasts. I am no exception.
Before, back in Menancia, you mentioned having taken a friend's life over the throne. Is that what she meant?
The mistakes I made there were not my first, and may not be my last. I will say no more.
Did you mean what you said? About letting her take your life if she wanted to?
She has more right to my life than anyone.
But you can't just...
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest, and to ensure continued coexistence in Menancia. I have no intention of expiring before I do so. There are far too many questions I still seek answers to. Besides, you have just as much reason to kill me as she does.
Dohalim!
Forgive me. Some things are best left unsaid.
I mean, it really sucks that I'm not actually that surprised that he would offer that to her. I will admit I was a bit distracted during that scene because I recognized the voice actor for Faria, but I was trying to figure out who it was. I think it's Laura Post, I think. But yeah, no, that was a scene. Also, the red woman is showing up, like, ooh, what's she gonna do? Anyway, where are we going? They're there, okay. I take it that there's no items here, or else we would know. Right, let's just continue on then. Yeah, I'm really not surprised. He does seem to really resent himself for all the stuff that he's done. Like, his guilt is just huge. Oh, whoops. No, I don't want to lose another orange tail, thank you. Well, I have two to go back for. Are you okay? I feel guilty about fleeing while there are kids out there fighting. There's no need to worry about them. They come from a higher ranking family than ours. That makes their astral arts stronger than ours. They're simply fulfilling their duty to society as members of the ruling elite. I know, but it still doesn't sit right with me. Are you okay? Well, they're doing their best, I guess. Let's continue on. God, this music's so good. Okay. Civilian Park Zone. There's so many areas. Like, the city is huge. I see there's a camp? Okay. Hello? Oh, I hope that person's gonna be okay. Hi there. Don't mind me. Just running around your town. Hi.
This is crazy. How long is this gonna keep going on?
I don't know. Normally we would have had orders from the top brass informing all the separate classes what to do. I doubt that's happening. The whole chain of command in this city seems like it's broken down. Nobody knows what's happening. That doesn't mean someone somewhere isn't watching our every move. For now, we should see if there's anyone higher ranking around here. Maybe they'll have an idea of what we should be doing. Maybe, but probably not. For some reason, I feel like this is being kept from everyone, not just the lower ranking Renans. Anyway. This place is so cool. Alright, hello item? Don't be another orange gel. Tofu! That's where we find tofu on Lenegis? It's space food. Alright, hello. The feeding pen is in bad shape. Who knows how many people have died? What happened to the Zoogles? Don't tell me they broke out. No, luckily we were able to seal them off before they got too far. Not that it does much good when they've escaped to in other districts too. If I had to guess, I'd say there are a lot of Zoogles running loose throughout Lenegis. And there are lots more of them than us too. What are we going to do? All our best soldiers are stationed down on Dana. Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe, you know, don't hold a crown contest and send half of your people over to Dana then. Alright, nothing to see here, I guess? Let's continue on. I can't get over how good this music is. Oh my god. Okay. So, hello? Anything to see here?
Wow, this place is beautiful.
Yeah, it must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
You think? Man, these Renans sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Is something the matter, Dohalim?
Before I went down to Dana, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together. Avakir, Faria, and Tarnagan. That was a lifetime ago now.
Tarnagan. He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
He was once my dearest, closest friend. As well as Faria's betrothed. Despite Faria's lower class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music. Entranced by her playing, I helped her overcome her sense of inferiority and introduced her to Tarnagan and Avakir. It was a time of great joy. 4 people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
A friendship based on mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing. Besides, it was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart. And even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnagan and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord. Tarnagan had fallen for Faria. By becoming Lord, he aimed to wrest her from her humble origins and raise her to the highest echelons of society. But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Tarnagan was no match for me in combat. On a level playing field, he wouldn't have stood a chance. But he was desperate, and low on options, and he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does Faria think... Wait. Don't tell me she doesn't know.
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less. She would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty. Instead, I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Danans there would still be suffering under Renan oppression like before.
Shion's right. What other lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago. You've saved so many people, Dohalim. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as always. But I shall do my best to heed your advice.
Do you think he'll be all right?
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
Sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Shion. I promise he does.
I hope you're right. Alphen.
Yeah?
I never appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe, but I still wanted to say thank you.
These conversations are all just too sweet. Oh, poor Dohalim. He really has gone through a lot, hasn't he? I mean, at least he does have people he can rely on. Obviously, Kisara has been there for him this whole time. And the rest of his friends, of course, as well. Also, that other guy, Alvakir, was also there. So I'm interested to see what he was hiding around for. Hi! If the rumors are to be believed, it's not just Zoogles who are out of control. Apparently, a group of armored soldiers have started to rebel too. For all we know, we might be seeing the start of some kind of uprising, don't you think? That's absurd. How could possibly plot such a conspiracy and think they can get away with it? True. If you rebel against the Sovereign, you're rebelling against the entire Renan civilization. It's hard to say one way or another. Nothing like this has ever happened in the history of Lenegis. We just know too little. They really needed to get a proofreader for this game. Bananamco hit me up. I'm great at English. I have a degree. No, but seriously, so many typos in this game. Hi. If things don't calm down soon, don't you— oh wait, this is a lady, sorry. If things don't calm down soon, don't you think we could board a starship so we can evacuate? You can't! We need to have the Sovereign's permission to enter a starship for anything other than the crown contest. Well, where's the Sovereign? Why isn't he here to lead us in our time of need? Good question. We should be questioning this. Question authority. Why are they not here? What are they doing? We just don't know. And that's a concern. There's really nothing else up here? It's just a pretty space to stand, I guess? I wonder if this is where they performed. It's very pretty. Yeah, it's nice to hear more context about that as well with Dohalim's past, especially considering we saw that scene.
I see a medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with me, they'll likely offer their assistance.
Ah, I did wonder how we were going to get items and stuff, and a camp. Well, that's
What do you
nice.
say we check back in on the ranch?
How are you going to check back in on the ranch? How? How can we manage the ranch? We're in space. Oh well, I guess I'll just send some rat pigs to the barn. Just gonna get so much rat pig meat, oh my goodness. Well, that's fine. I don't think I really need items. I don't even have anything to sell. I mean, I have some rat pig meat that I can sell. That's mostly the reason why I'm getting rat pig meat, is because it's good to sell. But we don't really need items. I guess we can sleep real quick and then we'll end off. So let's rest. Oh, we can cook. Oh, what do I want to cook? We got a new recipe, didn't we? What did we get? What was the recipe we got? Roasted chicken kebab, beef stew, wiener. That was what we got. Let's have the wieners, I guess. It takes pork, sheep meat, and horse meat. Ugh. Okay, make it with Alpha, I guess.
That turned out good, if I do say so myself.
You're getting better at cooking, I guess. Alright, well I guess we'll end off there then, since we've been going on for a while. So hi, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please feel free to let me know down below what you thought of everything that happened in this MCU today, including mostly just chatting to people on Lenegis. I found it so interesting so far. I'm really curious to see more about Lenegis. Sorry we didn't really do all that much. Next time, hopefully we'll actually get more stuff done on Lenegis. So look forward to it. But for now, thank you again for watching. Thank you again for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope you have a great day, night, or whatever the time it is for you. And I will see you next time.